You're sitting at a crowded cafe. Someone casually asks a trivia question, and instantly three people at the table dive for their phones, thumbs flying across screens. But you just lean back. You feel a familiar, grounding stillness in your chest. You are completely comfortable just not knowing the answer for a while, letting the mystery sit in the air. If you recognize that exact sensation, the physical peace of letting a thought marinate without instinctively reaching for a search engine, I see you. You aren't lagging behind the times, and you aren't just being nostalgic. Your brain was simply built on a totally different framework. Welcome to case file number 20, the analog mind. Society loves to label this. They call it being technologically resistant, old school, or stubbornly clinging to the past. Let's drop that myth right now. This isn't stubbornness, it's a brilliant adaptation mechanism. You see, your nervous system developed before the era of infinite, instant digital gratification. Biologically, your brain learned to regulate its own stress and boredom without needing a glowing rectangle as a pacifier. You forged neural pathways designed to tolerate delayed gratification and process the physical world in real time. But this is where the profile takes a fascinating turn, because that analog wiring didn't just disappear when you eventually got a smartphone. It left permanent psychological blueprints. Let's look at the facts. The geography of memory. Before search engines, you had to remember exactly where information lived, not just what it was. Your brain heavily relied on spatial memory. You navigate ideas like a seasoned detective walking through a massive physical archive, whereas a purely digital brain acts like a frantic kid shouting at a smart speaker. The boredom baseline. You actually know how to exist in an empty room, while the hyper-connected modern brain treats a quiet, unstimulated moment as an uncomfortable threat. Your natural dopamine baseline treats it as a blank canvas. Linear focus. You grew up consuming media with a beginning, middle, and end. You don't process information like a shattered mosaic of infinite scrolling tabs. You follow a narrative like a single, unbreakable thread. Research into cognitive mapping has shown that individuals who learn to navigate their environments without GPS technology actually developed greater gray matter volume in their hippocampus. You didn't just learn the names of streets, you were quietly building robust mental worlds. But let's be honest about the flip side, because I know you feel it. Living with an analog nervous system in a hyper-digital reality is incredibly draining. There's a specific kind of fatigue that comes from the modern expectation of being reachable 24 hours a day. There's a quiet, aching loneliness in looking up at a room full of people, only to realize everyone else is looking down at their palms. You are experiencing the hypervigilance of a brain forced to process a barrage of notifications it was never evolutionarily designed for. It is heavy, carrying the memory of a quieter world. It's entirely valid to mourn the loss of the fundamental human right to just be disconnected. Your analog foundation isn't a vulnerability. It is a profound psychological anchor. In a culture that is absolutely drowning in shallow information, your inherent capacity for deep, undistracted presence is a rare form of intelligence. It is the ultimate defense mechanism against an economy actively trying to steal your attention. You didn't just grow up without the internet, you grew up with yourself. If this profile matches your reality, keep the dossier open. Subscribe to join the investigation, and let's keep decoding the beautiful complexities of the human mind together.